Hey everyone, it's Vince Well singing again, and we're gonna be doing another Wattpad Wednesdays. Yeah, another one of these things. I know you guys love it so much. Uh, yeah, we're back to Jeff the Killer. What was this? Jeff the Killer, Blood Flow, or I think I read that backwards. I, honest to God, do not remember a single fucking thing about this story. Mainly because when I read it, I was exhausted because, like a dumb shit, I tried to stream it when I was exhausted and hadn't any sleep. But I'm here now, and we're going to. I'm gonna try to remember little bits and pieces from what little I can remember. Okay, if I remember correctly, something something Mary Sue, something something Jeff the Killer is my bae. Oh yeah, it's kind of coming back to me. We'll probably remember a lot more as I go along. But first, let's play some of our spooky music so we can get in the mood. This is Jeff the Killer, a horror icon after all. We need to set the appropriate tone. Chapter 6. Hope's point of view. It was Tuesday, and because I skipped school yesterday, my mom made me go today. As I was doing my hair, I remembered I was going to visit his family. I sighed and put on a black short dress with skulls on the back, tights underneath, so my butt didn't hang out. Oh, sorry, excuse me, with black tights underneath. When I do my makeup, then I do my makeup. What is wrong with me? I'm not even sleepy now. Let's take a sip of this beverage here. Like a thing of red wine right here. Sorry about that. Uh, I looked at the mirror and approved. I just hoped that Jeff's family would like me. I sighed and felt lips against my neck. Hey, I said, smiling. He kissed me. You look extra beautiful today, but you know you don't have to dress up if you don't want to. I know, but I want to make a good first impression. I tried to sound confident when I was actually very nervous. You don't have a thing to worry about. They'll all love you. I wish he was me. Jeff hugged me. I wish I could hang out with you all day, but I really have to go to school. Uh, 20 in 20 minutes. I told him. He sighed and gave me a sad puppy face. I shoved him and told him to knock it off. Then I pulled him in and kissed him. Better? I asked. Much. He winked. See you tonight, Hope. My heart fluttered out of my chest. I looked at my watch. Shit! I say. I grabbed my brother and get my car keys. I dropped my brother off in front while wait. Isn't she supposed to be like a teenager? Well, never mind. She could have her learner's permit. Who knows? I had to park my black. I miss. I misread that for a second. I thought it said I had to park my black ass. Like, oh, I mean that would do an interesting twist on it. Usually these people are like pasty face suburban white teenagers who never had a day of hardship in their lives. But if the fact if she was black, that would diversify it a little bit. See, that's the strength of diversity right there. It's 2019. We gotta get with the times, you know. Oh, where was I? Uh, I dropped my brother off while I found a spot to park. I had to park my black badass Dodge Charger next to Stephine Abby's pink SUV. I laughed. At least I have one thing better than her. That's subjective, I thought to myself. Steffi made sure to make my life a living hell. I got out of my car and locked it. As I walked up to the door, I saw Rhett and Sarah being harassed by some kids of some of the kids in their grades. I got really pissed off and walked up to them. What's going on? I asked. Red shook his head, trying to tell me to stay out of it, but I couldn't. I was already involved. Nothing that an emo freak like you needs to care about. I gritted my teeth. I am not emo. There's nothing wrong with being emo, I played along. The boys laughed at each other. Don't you have to go cut your wrist or something? That was way too far. Okay. So says the person writing a story about you know says the person writing a story about Jeff the fucking killer who casually murdered her father and you know It's not really that kind of got lip surface initially, but I think that was dropped very quickly as well. Let me turn that down a bit. No, I don't. Hold on, because it's coming in loud in my headphones, but I don't know how loud it's going to translate for the video, so I apologize in advance. Where were we? I'll ask you once nicely, leave them alone. The tallest one looked at me and said, "What if I do this?" And he kissed Sarah. She tried pushing away, but he's too strong. Then out of nowhere, Rhett tackles the kid to the ground. "Stay off my girl, you asshole!" He screams as he beats the shit out of him. Sarah is sitting down crying. I'm trying to comfort her when the two very large boys put their hands over our mouths. They carried us to an empty what? Oh, carried us to an empty warehouse. What? How far was this warehouse from your school? Like, what? Did they actually, like, hoist you over their heads like fucking Legend of Zelda Link style and just, like, carry you all the way downtown or some shit? Like, that's my headcanon what happened. If people were looking on, it's like, oh, well, that's kind of odd, but, it's not really any of our business. We were both tied up, sitting in chairs. A guy who looked about 21 walked out from the shadows. "Hey there, beautiful." He walks up to Sarah. "Leave her alone." These are presumably guys from their school. What the fuck is happening? They just decide to do this on a whim. Like, there was no juxtaposition between like them being just everyday bullies and them just like, okay, we're gonna just gonna kidnap our classmates, bring them to a warehouse downtown, and rape them. Just our normal everyday high school activities. It's Freshman Friday. We gotta weed out the week, make sure they're ready for the school year. Let me see. Where was I? Okay. Oh, and there's another girl. I usually only get one. Oh shit. He walks over and sees what I'm wearing. "Were you waiting for your boyfriend?" he asks, and then laughed. "Yeah, and he's gonna beat the shit out of you when he gets here." "A feisty one," he laughed. "I love when they put up a fight." Rhett's point of view. "I sat in the bully's chest, beating the shit out of him. Please, stop. I'm sorry, let me up," he cried. "I don't give a fuck if your sorry ass wants up or not," I screamed, pounding my fist into his chest. I didn't even realize the two ugly assholes stole my sister and girlfriend. I got up and started yelling their name. How long was this beating going on that you couldn't notice, like, the lack of presence of the two people that you were basically trying to protect? That's. Well, then again, like, it must have been a long ass beating if they took them all the way downtown and locked them up in a random warehouse. I got up. I started to yell their names. I felt a cold hand on my shoulder. I looked to see a man who looked about Hope's age, maybe a little older. He was wearing a white hoodie and black pants. He was looking at the ground. "Where's Hope?" Why the hell do you care?" I snarled at him. "Oh, Red. So I guess Hope hasn't told you about us yet?" He looks up. I see a horrific sight. His face is cut into a smile. His eyelids were, well, the went there which left what? Well, the went there which left big black rings around them. "Stay the hell away from my sister." "Please trust me. I love her," he says. I don't know why, but for some reason I thought he could find Hope and Sarah, so I let him have. Okay, kind of conflicts being brought up and dropped is kind of the main theme of the story so far, besides being general bad. Hold on. Okay, that is too loud. Just being generic, self-insert garbage. Me and Hope's brother walked in complete and com- complete awkward silence for about 10 minutes. Then Retz looked at me and said, this will be much cooler with chainsaws. And I laughed and gave him a nuggie. What? I gave him a nuggie. "You're funny, kid. You know what? You know that?" We laughed and heard Hope scream. Yeah, that's kind of a priority right now. Now's not the time to try to trade witty cop banter, okay? Hope screamed. We ran to an abandoned warehouse. Red's jaw dropped. Sarah was lying on the ground. She refused to take off her clothes, so they knocked her out. She was lying on the floor in her own blood. And I screamed, and he walked towards me with a sledgehammer. Who did? Oh, wait. Like, oh, this girl is showing even a tacit amount of resistance, despite the fact that she couldn't stop us from dragging her all the way downtown into this and tying her up. My God. So I can't handle this. Time to fucking knock her out with a sledgehammer. You are the you are the worst rapist I've ever seen. And in the long list of rapists I've met and seen, you'd be the only one. Then I saw Jeff burst through the door with Rhett behind him. He pounced on the man and slit his throat and whispered, "Go to sleep in his ear." Go to sleep in his ear. Rhett ran to Sarah's side. He picked him up bridal style and held her close, tears streaming down his cheek. Jeff untied me and we got out of there before anyone else could get their hands on us. We made it back to the school and jumped into my car. Jeff drove because I was all shaken up by the fact that I was almost raped. Okay, I don't need to go into this the fucking cringeworthy laughing jack ramp I did before. We got into my house and Rhett took Sarah to the hospital. Me and Jeff sat in my room. I looked in the mirror and saw a bloody lip. Great, I said, leaning into Jeff's chest. Hey, it's not that bad. I mean, considering everything that happened to you, I'd say a bloody lip is you got up pretty easy. Your friends like got hit in the head with a fucking sledgehammer. Trust me, they won't care, he reassured me. We watched TV and then looked up the clock. You ready? I took a deep breath. Yeah, I think so. We walked up to the edge of the forest. Are you scared? He asked me. No. Why do you ask? 'Cause you're squeezing my hand, he laughed. We kept walking until we see the mansion. We walked through the front door where I don't see anyone but Sally sitting on the ground playing with her doll. So she knows who Sally is, and like, there's no beef there. Like, you're like, hey, you remember when you stalked me in the woods and tried to kill me? Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Or is this still in Jeff's perspective? I don't know because oh no, wait, it's her perspective. So she knows Sally, and she's cool with like her cat leading her out to the woods and trying to kill her. Okay, wait. Uh, you wait here. I'll go get the others. He kissed me and walks away. I blushed because Sally saw his kiss and gave me a way to go smile. Then she came and sat next to me. Hey, so sorry about trying to kill you the other day, she said in a cute little voice. It's okay. It's just part of life for you guys. I would love to stat offer though. You know, I'm actually reading this through my bad eye, so I thought I misread that, but no, that's what it says. I would love to stat over though. Stat offer. She smiled and held her hand. I shook it. I'm Sally, but you already knew that. I never did catch your name though. I'm Hope, I said, smiling. Then I felt someone grab my shoulders. I turned and he kissed me on the cheek. He looked like Link from Legend of Zelda. His friend gave him a high five. He had two big black round eyes, no mouth. I wasn't sure if it was a mask or not. I just kept my mouth shut. Then I saw Jeff run halfway downstairs. Do either of you bozos know where Slendy is? He asked. They both nodded. You guys are so immature, he mumbled. Jeffrey, I know where he is, Sally shouted at him. Where? He asked. He's out hunting, she said in a dark voice but giggled. This is why you are my favorite. He kissed her forehead, then grabbed my hand. You guys, this is Hope, he told the two boys. Hope, this is Ben, he said, pointing at the boy who kissed me. And that's Jack. He was the one with the blue face. Oh, Jeff, darling, you don't need to introduce her for us, Beth said to Jeff. Then Jack looked at me. He goes on and on about you. They laughed, and Jeff's pale face turned a tint of red. He was extremely embarrassed. Well, we will wait. Well, we'll leave you two lovebirds alone, Ben said, mouthing "call me" to him. I flipped him off, and he winked. Why do you all live together? I asked. None of us have anywhere else to go. Besides, excuse me. Plus, we all have the same hobby. He laughed. Then I saw something out of the corner of my eye and jumped a little. Oh, I almost forgot. the most important. He whistled, and a big husky with a crazy smile ran up to him, paying no attention to me. Smile, this is Hope. If you hurt her, I'll have to kill you. Smile turned and looked at me. He then licked my hand and nuzzled his head under my lap. I laugh. He's so cute, I tell Jeff. Yeah, I love him to death. Jeff, oh god, this is. I had to say this is not endearing me to these characters. Like the butchering of a decently written creepypasta is something that I am not very fond of. Is this a harem thing, but with creepypasta girls? How you doing, Drawfeen? And you know the answer is yes. One, because it's on Wattpad. Two, because it's on Wattpad. And three, because that's generally the cliche that is accompanied by stories wherein the author feels the need to insert themselves in the story with some kind of avatar. Also, this is Wattpad. Also, can I ask, is the music coming in too loud for you? Because I can't tell because of the headphones I have. So if you can point it out or tell me how loud everything is for you, that'll be very helpful. Okay, I keep saying where was I? Shit, it's getting dark fast, I say, looking out the window. You can stay here tonight. Text your mom and tell your Sarah, her you're with Sarah in the hospital. I looked up at him and smiled. Are you sure? I confirmed. Positive. He kissed me, and I texted my mom. Done, I said. He smiled and leaned in and kissed me. Then he led me up to his room. You can stay here with me if you want. I nodded and we snuggled on the bed together. I fell asleep on Jeff's chest. Halfway through the night, I realized that he got up, put on his white hoodie and grabbed his knife. That's my Jeff the Killer. Oh, sorry, that's my Jeff the Killer, I told myself as he walked out the room. When I woke up, I was in an all witch room. Uh, laying on the floor. Jeff? I yelled. No reply. You won't be seeing him anytime soon, a woman says. Hey, sorry for this brother's birthday, blah blah blah. Don't care about your personal life. Why does all these fanfics hate Jane? Well, kiddo, I can tell you that I can give you the answer to that actually. Um, maybe place it a tiny link. Okay, I keep forgetting that. There we go. Yeah, I can answer this question, all right, because for one thing, they don't like the thought of competition for their fictional fucking character that they want to flick their beans to. Also, it's a matter of jealousy because they hate the fact that another character is almost recognized canonically as having romantic entanglements with their serial killer waifu, des husbandu, or whatever they say. I think that's basically what it boils down to. Like anyone who like feels the need to like try to demonize or kill off a character just so they can start their own shitty character in its place is a jealousy complex, and it's bizarre because like well, again, having to point out constantly that these characters are not fucking real and you should not be that obsessed with the romantic involvements of fictional fucking characters, I feel that would be redundant saying that over and over again, but no matter how many times it's said, that lesson seems to be tossed to the wayside by fanatical teenage girls or preteen girls. Preteen girls are the worst. Let me see. Who the hell are you? I asked. There's no need to shout, she looked sternly. My name is Jane. I felt tears start to build up in my eyes. Please let me go. I need to see Jeff. She laughed. I will let you go after you listen to me. The only downside is that after I tell, you won't want to go back to Jeff, she chuckled. If it's that he's a killer, I already know that, dumbass. Of course not. I'm not dumb enough to tell you something that you clearly already know. I looked around at the big room. How am I supposed to get out of here? Look. I hate Jane the Killer as much as the next guy. Okay, it's a shitty story, and the guy who wrote it is a complete asshole. But I'm just saying, like, at the very least, can you show some respect to the original vision that the person intended? In a sense, okay, what's the key defining characteristic of Jane the Killer apparently is that she doesn't kill people. She's a basically a Mary Sue character, and she just wants to kill Jeff. That's her MO. But apparently that's getting tossed to the wayside because this person, like, oh, you're a murderer too, not unlike Jeff, and not only that, you also completely endorse what he does. Well, I don't really see any. I gotta get you away from the guy, because I don't know. I don't get the mentality behind this. But then again, I don't think they really. I'm thinking too deeply into what is just self-insert wank. "How's your family, Hope?" she asked me. "Dandy, thank you very much," I said in a sarcastic tone. "What about your dad?" She smirked at me. All my blood in my body heated up. "Don't talk about my dad, you bitch," I said. "What if I told you you were closer to the killer than you think?" I had to think for a second. "Are you saying that you killed my father?" I asked, hoping with all my might that it was her, not Jeff. "Pathetic girl. You're not even worth the ground you sit on. You know who did, but you know he did, but you're too shallow to admit it." That again, you know who did, but you possess too shallow to admit it. Well, why would he do that? I asked, crying. Why? th- Why would Jeff the killer kill someone? Mmm. That's a riddle for the ages, isn't it? That's my Jeff the Killer freeze frames, 80s sitcom music, roll credits. Yeah, pretty much. He's not what you think he is. He's a cold-hearted killer. He doesn't care about you. He only cares about spilling the blood seeing the blood of his victim spill. I cried even harder. She told me everything would be okay. The next thing I know, I wake up in my bed. I was crying. I never wanted to see him again. I mean, you're a piece of shit, but at least you came to a logical conclusion. I came back after a good night's work. I walked into my room and sprawled out on to my bed. Something wasn't right. I looked around and realized that Hope was gone. I checked everywhere for something. I did find a note on her pillow that said, "Gotcha, now go to sleep, Jeffy." I saw I saw the knot and what? I saw the knot and instantly knew who wrote it. I go to Ben's room and he's sleeping. I kicked his bed. "Get up, you lazy asshole." Where was it? Come on, stop moving around so much. Need to adjust my mouse. He stretched and looked at his alarm clock sitting next to him. His eyes widened. "The fuck, bro? It's 2 in the morning." I handed him the note. "Jane has her. Please help me find her," I begged. "You owe me one." He got up. Out of all the people in this story so far, I think I relate to Ben the most, or at the very least, he's the most logically consistent character. And I say that because upon seeing the note of the girl that he was flirting with, he has been kidnapped, a message conveying that, he doesn't give two shits. And he seems to be very indifferent to that, indicating that he was only interested in her to hit that ass and nothing more. He wants to hit it and quit it and nothing else. If he can find, he can find a piece of ass nicer than Hope, so, like, but he doesn't want to hear Jeff's bitching, so might as well go along and try to rescue the bitch. And that alone makes Ben the most logically consistent character. Not the most likable. In fact, no, the most likable, because at least that's an average scumbag type behavior. We went to Jane's old house and found her sitting there playing with a knife. "Hello, Jeff. I was expecting you, but not you, midget. You possess smarter than I thought." Ben was pissed. I told him to hold back. Did Ben transform into a totally gnarly surfer bro dude? Yo, hang ten. Well, obviously. He's blonde and he surfs in one of the Legend of Zelda games. Or it was Mario's Superstar Saga. I don't know, one of those two. Same thing really. um, where is she? I asked a little panic. "At her house." "What did you do to her?" I didn't do anything. I just told her a story, I knocked her out, and I took her home. She chuckled at her cleverness. I was not amused. What story? Go find out, she said, her black eyes twinkling with evil. I mean, how is it really an evil thing that she told her, like, hey, your psychopath boyfriend killed your dad? You might wanna talk to him about that because it's that's genuinely in the do's and don'ts of relationships. That's in the don't section. Holly's point of view. Tap tap. I look over my window and I see Jeff. I hear back tears and I grew the strength to open my window. What? I asked. What did Jane tell you? He demanded. I felt a tear roll down my cheek. You know what you did. Oh, sorry. You damn well know what you did, I said. I don't know what she told you, but I'm sorry. I love you too much to get into a dumb fight. I clenched my fists together. You killed my father. Prepare to die. I couldn't control my tears anymore. That would be an awesome way to cap this off. Nice little twist ending. She just pulls out a rapier, just stabs him to the heart. Uh, can I go? Maybe I'll watch The Princess Bride real quick and come back. I'll leave the stream on. I'll play it in the background and you can hear me reacting to it. Oh. He looked at the ground. You knew the whole time, and you never told me, I cried. He reached for me, but I pushed him away. Leave me alone, I said. Without saying another word, he left. I sat there and cried. 3 months later. I miss Jeff. I haven't seen him for a couple months now, but I'm pretty positive that he visits me in my sleep. He also haunts my dreams. I'm still mad at him for not telling me that he killed my dad. Not even the fact that he killed. You're just mad because he wasn't open about it. Like it's like one of those situations where it's like, look, you didn't have to cheat on me. I would have let you fuck anyone who you wanted, okay? Like I was open to a relationship, but I will not appreciate dishonesty. I was wondering why I was getting the red bumpies after every session. I'm still mad at him for now. I cry at nights, and I'm super depressed. No, you're not. Jeff and Rhett try to calm me down, but they can't. I haven't told them why I don't see Jeff anymore. It was a school day, and I was once again forced to go. I got up and dipped my hair and put on my makeup. I threw on jeans, some random t-shirt. I don't care how I look. I picked up Sarah and dropped her and Rhett off in front. I parked and walked to my locker. Someone slammed it right in front of my face. Hey, slut! It was Stephanie. I started to walk away. She grabbed my shoulder. Did I say you could walk away, bitch? She snapped at me. I don't have to listen to you, I said. She punched me right in the nose. I fell to the ground. I got up and walked away. She followed me and pinned me against the wall. Where's your little boyfriend here? Where's your little boyfriend to save you now? I felt tears in my eyes. How do you know about him? I asked quietly, my voice quivering. I saw you walk into the woods with him, she said, laughing. I followed you guys. Then I saw his face. You're such a freak. You possess such a freak. Actually, that phrase actually kind of works. She said, I'm not with him anymore, so you can just leave me alone, I snarled. Ah, what happened? Did your ugly ass face scare him off? She laughed again. I punched her in the fake boob. Okay, I'll admit, I like that. That put a genuine smile on my face. You get one author of this story. Hope. I'm not gonna try to pronounce that. Yeah, but you get one. You managed to make me smile. She screamed and fell to the ground. I took my chance and ran to my history teacher's room. No one was in there. No one was in there. I just sat and cried. Then I felt someone tap my shoulder. I looked up and saw him as my teacher, Mr. R. No one knows how to pronounce his last name. I hope, but what are you doing? Are you okay? I looked up at him. I'm sorry. He sat down next to me. You tell me what happened. I don't know what accent I'm doing. My boyfriend left me, and now people, I don't know. You might want to be very, very specific about this, about the girl who just assaulted you. Then again, I live in a world of reality where I try to be forward with my grievances so that we can find a solution so that this doesn't happen twice. My boyfriend left me, and now people, I don't know. He leaned over and kissed me. What the hell are you doing? I yelled at him. I don't know why a boy would want to leave you. You possess so beautiful when you're sad, he said, leaning into me again. I pushed him on. You possess not going to tell anyone about this or I'll have to kill you. He leaned into me, trying to take off my shirt. I screamed and he covered my mouth. I got into my car and cried. It was the middle of the day. I texted my brother and it said he would have to walk him. I would have to walk him when he was sick. I drove home and slept all day. Oh, so we're just gonna fucking like jump past that part, huh? I was like, what is wrong? What is wrong with this person? Because it isn't a matter of just like trying to build up sympathy for his character. I honestly think that this is part of this author's weird persecution complex, where she wants to, I don't know, like her character is supposed to be so desirable to the opposite sex that like people will just force themselves upon her, and she's just helpless to do it without her stupid serial killer boyfriend. I gotta ask: are Dexter fans like this? Is this the brain of Dexter fans? Oh, he only kills the bad people. I will see. I woke up and my mom was in the kitchen. Honey, there's no school today, she said shakily. Why not? Your teacher, Mr. R, was found. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Mr. R with his Jesusalpalian accent. What a classic character, yes. Wait a minute, but though. Was Mr. R supposed to like be a abbreviation of Mr. Rape? That's my new headcanon for that. Mr. Rape keeps forcing himself upon the children. This came as kind of a shock to us. You know, Mr. Domestic Terrorist was found, in several pieces. Apparently, he was trying to do something, some kind of practice for a big event that he had planned, and there was an explosion, and then, like, in the middle of his house, we found some C4, a map of all the major cities in the world. Like, it was weird. We still don't know what's happening. I'm going for a walk, I said. I walked to the playground and met Jeff. I knew he was looking for me. I smiled. I missed you. I whispered, I miss you too. And I heard from behind me, and I quickly turned and saw no one there. Jeff? I cried, please, Jeff, I'm sorry for what I said. No, don't apologize. No, like, that's a legitimately that's a legitimate complaint to have towards your significant other. Like, hey, I don't think we can be together because years ago you murdered my father for gratuitous pleasure. And while I normally am fond of you doing that, and I in fact caught him endorse it, I didn't think that you would go so far as to do it to my loved ones. I still got no answer. I stood up and walked into the forest. I was still mad at him, but I loved him. I had to see him again. I walked for a while. Every now and then, I would hear noises coming from bushes, but from bushes. When, but then, but when I looked, nothing was there. Then, out of nowhere, I was tackled to the ground. I looked over and saw Smile standing on top of me. I stroked his fur. Where's Jeff? I asked him. He store into my he store into my eyes. What grade are you in? This there's no excuse for that. I store into my eyes. Fuck my fuck just fuck everything, man. Then he nodded his head. He got off of me and started to walk. I followed him to a river where I saw him. He was sitting there with a knife next to him, throwing rocks into the river. Jeff, I asked wildly. He looked at me. I ran over and hugged him. I cried into his chest. I thought you didn't want to see me anymore. He said, holding me close. I was mad. I didn't mean it. You have every right to be mad. He gave me a quick smile. I love so much. Quick smile I love so much. I'm not gonna lie. I'm still a little mad. I mean, you know, yeah, just a teensy bit mad. Just a little bit upset. Murdering my loved ones. Yeah, I can't really let that go. You're kind of you're in the proverbial doghouse, Mister. All right. You're gonna have to buy me one hell of a Valentine's Day card. But I love you too much to care. He smiled and kissed me. I kissed him back, never wanting to let go. We lay by the river and watched the clouds. So you made up. Jeff snarled and turned around. Jane! Hatred light up in his eyes. Don't get your panties in a twist, she laughed. You had your fun. Now leave Hope out of this, he yelled at her. She ran at me and held the knife to my throat. What are you going to do about it, Jeffy? She pressing the knife harder. Don't move or she gets it, she threatened Jeff. He looked at her. Leave her alone. I'll do anything. He shouted at her. She let go of me. You have 1 minute to say goodbye to her. Jeff walked over to me. I was crying again. I'll come back for you. Go to my house, get Ben, Jack, Slenny. Wait. She let go of her. What is she using as? She just let go of her bargaining chip. Like, what's? Why do they have to do anything that she says now? I. I'll come back for you. Go to my house, get Ben, Jack, and said I don't know what to do. He kissed me. I love you. I love you too. Follow me, Jeff, she said. And she looked at me and walked. Why? Mm-hmm. Organized, Enchanter, XOXO, Mr. Zoom, Mr. Z, and then this is just, I'm trying to keep my thoughts together right now. Noise from the bush, yeah. Mm-hmm. Chapter 9. I sprinted full. How much is there? Oh no! Damn it! Why do I do this to myself? I sprinted full speed towards Jeff's house. I saw Ben out front smoking. I ran up to him. He gave me a big hug. Where have you been, babe? He asked. No time for jokes. Get the others. She has Jeff. Ben looked at me and nodded. I just imagine Stoner Ben who just it does not give a fuck no matter how much, no matter how hectic things are getting around him. He just stays with that kind of dopey expression on his face, like, whatever. I might as well. Why not? I sat on the couch waiting for Ben to. I'm gonna give him a raised voice. I looked up and saw a white hand reach out in front of me. I shook it and saw who I assumed to be Slendy. Hi, hi, I'm Hope. I said, shouting my name. His lack of a face was catching me off guard. I know who you are. He chuckled. His voice was low and sinister. I'm Slenderman, but you can call me Slendy. I smiled at him. I couldn't concentrate, though. I hope Jeff is all right. Don't worry, we'll find him, he said in a calm voice. How'd you know he was missing? I'm Slender Man. I know everything, he laughed. Jack came down and sat next to me. He then put his arms around me. Hey, Hope, how you feeling? I shrugged my shoulders. I'll be okay. It'll be okay. Jeff's the toughest guy I know. He hugged me. I hope so, I sighed. Then Sally came and sat on Jack's lap. If it's Laughing Jack, do not do that. No. Do not sit on Laughing Jack's lap. Fucking gonna have gonna be like Hellraiser, the shitty version, except for kids. I said it before, Laughing Jack is a shitty version of the Babadook, but the Babadook came after Laughing Jack. That's what blows my mind. Like almost point for point in that entire story. The story, like not the story beats themselves, but the way that the the story is structured and the events as they unfolded reminded me a lot of Laughing Jack. I was watching it. It was just a more interesting version where I was actually feeling invested in what was happening to the characters. The story is weirdly similar to Faithful Hearts. Also, Sunny being a leprechaun, that would explain some things. I try to go by bad creepypasta headcanon, and that being that Slenderman is Irish. Slenderman is Irish. Jeff the Killer is an old Welsh man. Jane the Killer is a chain smoker. I haven't been doing the voice. I got a voice for Ben for the characterization I gave him. If I can pull it off, I don't know if I can. Where'd you go? Where's Jeff? Well, where'd you go? Where did you go? I was sad being the only girl in the house. She winked at me. Where's Jeff? That's why we're all down here, That's why we're all down here, sweetheart. He answered for me. Jane has him, I said. She looked at me. I saw tears growing in her eyes. Growing. Okay. I grabbed her and hugged her. She looked up at me. Last time he barely made it back, she said with a whisper. My heart sank. My emotions got the best of me. I brought my knees up to my chest and buried my head in them. I sat like that until I heard Ben finally come down. Hey. I'm trying to remember how his voice was in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cartoon. Um, hey, I'm sure you all know what's going on by now. So what I'm gonna say is, let's go kick some ass. I ain't got nothing better to do. He smiled. What about Hope? Sally asked. And I don't fucking know. We need to protect her as best as we can. I don't know. So what's the plan? We can't protect her if we don't have a plan, Jack said. Okay. Well, we go in and we fight her off, and Hope and Sally go and find Jeff or something. That's not bad. I feel like inserting that line from Guardians of the Galaxy is like that's the worst plan. That is not a plan. It's barely even a concept. Let's see. I look at Sally. Are you okay with that? I ask her. She smiles and nods. We'll be leaving first thing tomorrow. No, I say quickly. She's going to kill him the first chance he gets. Everyone in the room stared at me. Okay, then we'll leave in 3 hours. Sally, give Hope a makeover. She winks at her. He winks at her. How Slenderman? What? God damn it! She nods and grabs my hand as we walk into her room. She starts turning my face with tons of liquidy concealer, then outlines my cheekbones with eyeshadow. She then puts some pure black contacts in my eyes. We're missing something. Oh! She went to the hallways and run back in an instant. She pours a long brown clip and extensions and red splatters all over them that look like blood. She clipped them into my hair. Perfect! She yelled excitedly. I looked at the mirror. I look so different. I loved it. Sally, I look amazing and all, but why am I all dressed up? She giggled. We can't go into her neighborhood if we look human. I nod. You should go get everyone's approval before we go. I walk out to the room where Jack was playing video games. Very productive. I mess with him. He looks up. Sally did a good job. I can barely tell it was even you. He said. I laughed. I don't look too bad, do I? You look horrible. What? God, I need to fix this. Uh, he looked set dead serious. I looked at him. Just kidding. Take a chill pill, black eyes, he said, chuckling at his own joke. Well, okay. I gotta go talk to that guy, so see ya. I walked out of his room and went to Ben, who was watching TV. He saw me walk downstairs. And I guess you'll get in. I mean, you kinda look like a killer. I don't know. He said sarcastically. Ha ha! Ha ha! Do you really think it will work? Oh yeah, for sure. I can't do Ray's voice, damn it. Sorry, I was looking at the chat. Good job, Sally. As we walk out of the room, he kind of scares me, to be honest. What? Okay, there are a couple things that you have to know, Sally said. First, act natural. Don't freak out. They will notice and kill you. Second, don't cry. Demons don't cry. And the most important thing, don't make eye contact. They will steal your soul. Stay close to Jack and myself and we'll keep you safe. I nodded, a little scared. I'll be fine. How old are you, Sally? I'm 8, but I've been 8 for a while. Was that a reference to Twilight? Was that a reference to Twilight? It felt like a reference to Twilight. I felt like a reference to Twilight. That makes me very sad. What do you mean? I said. I'm stuck as 8 years old until I die, so I'm technically older than 8, but not really. I was confused. But I understood her. Weird. I went into Jeff's room and sat there thinking about him. I don't think I could ever live life without him. I was ready. Read the comments. I'm Batman. How can Slender... How can Slender wink? He doesn't have eyes. How can Slendy wink? 17 with the physical maturity of a 7-year-old, but the gutter mind of a horny man who watches too much porn. I don't know what's happening. What the fuck? Do you did you know about the fanfics? What a mother flipping second. You know what size Zolgo's dick is? Ooh no, I win sir to life. Tell me what the fuck I am good for. You said you know everything. Okay, so now I have a question. Okay, whatever. This is very interesting perspective from the denizens of this wonderful, wonderful website. Auteurs knows. Sorry for the opening lately. Shut up, and let's get back to your garbage. I'll stop at 10 because my sanity can only take so much. We crept up to the iron gates, what looking at what is we okay. We crept up to the iron gates, looking what it is we would be up against. Okay, I don't know what I. Why are words allowed to? Oh my god, I saw weird-looking people just walking around. Even if one of us would brush up against another, they would not say a word. Why are they all girls? I asked, slightly confused. Sally giggled a tad. They don't like guys here, Jack said. I started to worry about Jeff. I just got. What is this fucking Wicker Man now? They're gonna talk about phallic symbols and there's gonna be weird, like, pretentious imagery in the sequel or the remake. I got him back, and there was no way I'm losing again. Everyone remember the plan? Slendy asked, bending down way low. Yeah, all the guys go beat the shit out of people, and me and Sally go and get Jeff, I said quickly. I was extremely scared, and I just wanted to go and kick some ass. You have been kidnapped and molested and manhandled throughout this entire story. You do not get to play this fucking Tomb Raider-esque character now. Well, modern Tomb Raider, because her entire character revolves around bad shit happening to her and while she breathes really hard. But that's different, you know. At least that game controls well enough. Let's go. I said quickly. I was want to go kick some ass already. Little feisty, are we? Ben said, laughing. Let's just go now. We walk in slowly, trying not to draw attention to ourselves. I look at the biggest house. That has to be where she's keeping Jeff. You don't. That's a very odd conclusion to come to based on nothing, but whatever. As we walk, heads start to turn towards us. Then there was whispering. Cover your ears! Jack screamed. I did as I was told. They were all facing us. None of them had eyes. They all had black sockets, what assumed to be blood pouring out. We ran to Jane's house, and they started attacking. Human! They all screamed at once. We ran into the house. The boys held the door shut. Go find them! We got these losers, they said as the door made cracking noises. Me and Sally ran through each room looking into each room at what we saw. He wasn't in any of them. Basement! Sally cried. She opened the door slowly because it let out a loud creak. I took my cell phone and used it as a flashlight as Sally was holding my hand. I looked at her as she had liquid falling from her eyes. Shh, it's okay, sweetie. We'll find him, don't worry. She gave me a weak smile, and we continued down the stairs that never seemed to end. I was panting by the time we reached the floor. Look! Sally screamed. I found her eyes. I followed her eyes and saw Jeff laying there. I ran over to him. He was knocked out cold. I brushed the hair out of his eyes. He was wearing a mask over his eyes and a bandana tied around his mouth. That's what I think of the story. Um, tiring. Excuse me. By the way, that wasn't funny. That was just disgusting. Untiring. Untiring everything, I could feel him breathing. I sighed with relief. He started to move and reach for his knife. Then he saw me. Hope, how did you... I kissed him to shut him up. He kissed back, and then he pulled away. Jeff, what's wrong? I felt something cold crash against my head. I was knocked out cold. Well, that certainly is a fascinating plot twist. What happened? Was it Jane? Was it Jane again? Was it another self-insert character that the author just pulled out of her ass? I mean, at least stuff is happening right now. I mean, it kind of distracts from the shitty "what was me" style writing, but I don't know. We're going to cut this short once more, and hopefully we'll be back. But first, let's read some stories. Sally said, Yale basement. My first thought of Harry Potter the flu powder when said Sally was a witch. How does she know that she was knocked out cold? She could have been knocked out hot or warm. Okay, I'm done. The the feminists are taking over. I'm an adult virgin. Oh, hilarious. And I will cut it. Quit. Yeah, that's it. I'm done. So I will catch you lots later. I'm gonna go relax again, and stay tuned for next week when I go on with this shit. By the way, quick little thing I want to throw out here. To the person who made it so that I had to create an account and log in that way in order to read these shitty stories, I would like you to kindly go fuck yourself, because I would like to be able to read at my own leisure and not have to worry whether or not I'm signed in or not, so I can keep my place in the shitty story that I'm reading. Okay? So, I'm just gonna say that. So I will catch you all later, and I hope you have a groovy rest of your evening.